everybody, it's Jill with Angel Creations. Welcome back to my very chilly craft room. It's in the 50s here in Florida, and I know that's not cold to some of you northerners, but just like you, when the temperature drops 40 degrees all of a sudden on you, it's pretty cold. So, yeah, it's pretty chilly, so I'm hoping my hands will cooperate with our craft today. If not, I might have to warm them up. All right, so today I have a fun little craft for us, and it is going to be all Dollar Tree except for the scrapbooking paper and also the burlap. But you can use other fabric. What we're going to do today is kind of mixed media. We're going to use all kinds of things. We're going to use leather and I was going to say lace, but I don't have lace, but leather and buttons and paper and burlap and raffia and all the things. So I went through I actually had several. Really, I think I just had two little things, and I should have kept it out to show you, but of the Dollar Tree buttons, I went through and I picked out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I picked out 9 buttons, all the same, but you can mix and match buttons. That would even be cuter, but that's just what I did. And then I laid them across. Well, here, let's start out with what we're going to be making today. We're going to be making or dressing up one of the Dollar Tree acorns. And we're going to be covering the bottom half of that with scrapbooking paper from Hobby Lobby. And I'm going to be using one of the leather blessed words from the Dollar Tree. The buttons I already told you about. The top I'm going to cover in burlap. And we'll use raffia, and we're going to make a bow too. So grab yourself a nice cold drink and let's get crafting. Excuse me for clearing my throat. It's cold. I woke up with a runny nose. It's like, I don't know how it knows, right? All right, so, I have 2 pieces of scrapbooking paper here. I did not mean that. Okay, so now I want to just trace out, and I kind of want my red lines to line up with my slats. Let's take this jute hanger out first and get that out of our way. That way it will lay flat and we can maybe trace it out. So yeah, it's chilly. I think it's chilly everywhere right now. It's just not normally chilly in Florida. So, all right, let me concentrate for a moment here. I want to put this in a place where I get most of my red stripes. So bear with me a moment. All right. So I'm just going to trace this part out because I really only need the bottom part. So, but we'll do this much. Talking to myself, sorry, no, I'm not. I'm talking to you guys. So yeah, I just feel like it was like all of a sudden really freezing. We woke up and then it's like, oh my god. Of course we have to put the heat on. And I have the runny nose that comes along with the cold weather. So I will take some zinc before I go to bed tonight. So I'm going to just cut this whole thing out, but I'm going to not use the whole thing because I'm going to put burlap on the top. But just for kicks and giggles, I am going to cut the whole thing out right now. So I need to go find my heating blanket. I know you're laughing at me. I can hear you all laughing at me now because I live in Florida. You guys don't think that we get cold, but we do get cold. We get cold, and being cold is miserable. You don't want me to be miserable, do you? I don't want me to be miserable. All right, so now we have, hey, wait. Where did we put our jute hanger? I bet I threw it someplace. I didn't even pay attention. Ah, I found it. Let's put it over there. Nope. Let's put it in the bottom drawer. Let's make that a habit. Okay, so now I am going to Mod Podge. Actually, I'm just going to use my glue stick. And, Mod Podge that, not Mod Podge, but glue stick that right on. I saw somebody using a purple one the other day. That's pretty damn cute. I want to find one of those that I'm going to put it right on my wood. So it goes on purple and then it dries clear so you can see where it is. And not only that, this jot one, it leaves big chunks, and I don't like that. But anyway, the one that I saw somebody using, it must be that Kathy Jo. If you go to her channel, if you've never met Kathy Jo DIYs, go check her out. She's amazing. Tell her I sent you, please. But she has amazing crafts. So let me finagle this so it's covering all of the bottom, at least. That's what I'm mostly worried about, is the bottom. And then I'm just going to take a craft knife and her X-Acto knife, and I'm going to go from the back because I want to cut my slats out. So I'm just going to try to cut those slats out from the back, on top and bottom of this little, oh, my knife doesn't want to go through there. And then I'm going to hopefully get this with my, either a nail file, you know, like a emery board, or, and now I don't want this part. I only want it up just a little bit above where my buttons are going to go. So we'll cut that right off for now. I am going to put you on pause and blow my nose. I don't want to be rude and blow my nose in front of you. So one moment, please. Please hold. Okay, I am back, and I have decided I want to put a little Mod Podge before I start to take my sanding block and sand and here in between. I want to take a little bit of Mod Podge and just go around my corners and things really, really quick with just a little brush. Just a little bit. Just because I feel like I need, before I can, oops, I just dripped that. Before I can really sand it, I want my edges really glued. Put that up. Really glued on. I don't feel like, see, here's a whole corner where it didn't go because, let me use my cap. Because you can't really see. Perfect reason to use that purple glue stick. I think it was Crayola, but I'm going to definitely have to Google that, because that looked like, I'm going to put this right over my cracks here too, because I am going to Mod Podge that, but that'll just help it. And I want it to lay flat. I think instead, so don't do what I did. Do this, but don't do the glue stick unless you have that purple one and you could tell that your whole thing was covered. This is just an extra step that now I have to do. And you know, I should have just done this in the first place. And then I would be already on to my next step. Alright, so I'm just going to give that a little blow dry. Making sure that lays down. And I will be right back. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Now that it's dry, I'm going to sand in between my slats with my gator. Again, I'm going to try to put the link to this in the description. I know I'm bad at that. Please forgive me. I'm not a professional. I'm all self-taught here. 56 years old, and I have taught myself this whole process, how to even use an iPhone. Yeah, and the computer, and how to edit, and how to use. I literally YouTubed how to YouTube. So I'm not going to bore you. I'm going to show you, though, this really quick. I'm not going to bore you and do all these slats in front of you, and I'm peeling off some of the paper when I do this, but I like that. So, if you don't want to do this part, you can use the scissors or an X-Acto knife instead of, and sometimes I have to use the knife because I can't get in, like in the back here where there's a board. I have to cut that part out. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go in between these slots here, these slats, and you can tell my paper's crooked. But that's okay. And I'm going to go sand those down, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I have sanded between my slats, and I lost the cover to my X-Acto knife. So anyways, when we find that, we'll put that back on. Okay, so now I am going to take a little bit of Antique Waverly wax and zhuzh this up, and then we're going to go on to our next medium. Our next medium is going to be, oh, here's my cover. Here's my cover. Here's my cover. Good, now we don't have to have any accidents with that. My next medium is going to be burlap. So I need a good stiff brush for some Antique Waverly wax. And if you don't have this, you can use brown paint with a little water will do. But just get it to like a shoe polish consistency, you know, like a wet shoe polish consistency. And also, this stuff is marvelous too. I forgot about that. But that wax that I've showed you before from Kilns, that stuff is amazing too. So I want to go in between my slats and grubby that up. And I'm going to go up and down in the same motion. Up from the bottom and then down from the top, and then I'm skipping and going up and down the other side. And then I'm going to come in and get my edges really good. And I want them dark. After all, this is an Acorn. So I want that pretty dark. I am grubbying that up good. And I'm not going to put that away yet. I'm going to cover my antique wax, though, because I don't want to have any issues with spillage. Whoops. Not slamming things. I'm at the bottom of my baby wipes, and it wanted to take the container with it. All right, so now we are going to cut out and trim. I think what we'll do is just should we Mod Podge that on, or should we go? I think I'm gonna take the glue, hot glue, and I'm gonna put that right on. Oh, we need glue in our glue gun. I'm gonna put that right on to the wood, and then I'm going to trim it off. And I'm going to try not to get that seeping through my wood slats. You know, I'm trying to go right along, but I don't really want to. All right. Something's wrong here. Okay, there we go. Now my other glue is going to be practically dry. Okay, so we're going to just put those with the paper and the burlap meat. And that is very hot, so be very careful. And try to just hold that down. Even though it goes through and it is very warm, I'm going to pull a couple of these strands to fray that. Seeing that it was already started. And then I'm going to trim around the back. So let's trim off our excess first of all, so we don't have it hanging off. And then I'm just going to do my very best to go around. And I'm going to go straight across because we're going to wrap our stem. I'm sorry with the sniffles. I apologize. There's nothing I can do about it. Woke up in the cold weather with the sniffles and there's nothing I can do about it. I'm trying to pause and blow my nose as often as possible. So if this video appears choppy, that is why. Okay, so there you have that. Now, that is so crooked looking, but now I am going to put a little more hot glue over here because it didn't really take. Because I was farting around trying to get glue to go, ow! Glue to go down in my glue gun. All right. So we might have to come back and trim that off a little bit more. But I want to take some jute. So right now we have two different mediums. We have paper and I'll call it fabric, okay? And now we are going to wrap our stem with jute. So then we'll have another medium. And I'm just going to put a little dot of glue at the very back. I think I'll start at the top of my stem and work my way down. Gonna hold that for a second. And then I'm just going to wrap my... And I'm going to have to use a little more glue at the beginning. And then I only have to do a little bit of glue here and there as we wrap. But I am going to just hold that still until it takes. I do have one of my windows open because it is warming up outside, so I'm trying to get it warm down in here, but you might be able to hear the birds singing, which is, my cats are enjoying the window. They love, whoops, I call it cat TV, and they love cat TV. Most of the year they're stuck inside with air conditioning, so they love it when I have a big, and this is a big sliding window, so they are really happy. All right, and now I am going to just pause this for time's sake, and I'm just going to wrap around and around. It's taken me a little longer to get it started, so I'm going to just wrap it around and then glue a little bit and then continue on until the whole stem is wrapped. Okay, I just want to give you a close-up. So that is all wound up, and I like to sometimes, I'm not going to say I do this every time, but this time especially, there's a whole bunch of fuzzies hanging off of my jute. So I just like to light that and shake it and burn all those fuzzies off. It doesn't start a fire, trust me. It just burns all those fuzzies off and it gives it a cool appearance. And I like that. I like it a lot. So there we have that. Now we're going to put our buttons on. And the thing I did is I put all my buttons, I laid them across where I wanted them, and then I taped them. And now I'm just going to run my, can you see what I'm doing? Now I'm just going to run my hot glue where I need it, and then I'm going to put my buttons on like that. And hopefully they'll stay when I take the tape off. It's painter's tape, so it's not supposed to be that sticky, but sometimes it is. Alright, so I'm just going to give this some glue. And I'm trying not to go where my slats are hollow because I don't want it, just because it doesn't need it there. I don't want it seeping through. And then I'm just going to flip my buttons over and put my buttons right down on my project. And mine is a little crooked, but we're going with crooked today. That's how it happened, and that's how it's staying. All right, so while that dries or adheres, we are going to take our blessed words. So now we have jute, and we have burlap, and then we have paper, and we even have wax, if you want to get technical. Then we have buttons, and now we're having leather. We're going to have our leather word go across the bottom here of, hey, you know what? I just thought of something, but that's okay. So I'm just going to I'm going to try my very best to hurry up and put some glue on my word and not let it dry, especially with the window and the breeze. And I'm going to try to be that quick about this. Quick, quick, quick. And I'm going to put it on, you guessed it, crooked. I'm going to lift up my tape a little bit. Yeah, I got it a little too high. It's over my buttons. That's okay. So now let's see if we can use our tape as transfer tape like we do with Cricut stuff. Oh, I love it. Love it. So look at how this came out. So cute. Now, I want to zhuzh up my edges of my burlap too, but this time I'm not going to use my Waverly. I'm going to use this wax from Kilns. And I'm going to pick up a little bit of that on my brush. And then I'm just going to go around my edges. And you can also do this with, like if you have an ink pad, a brown ink pad, you can dab that on here with a sponge. But I just want to give this a nice little outline. Just a nice little outline. Ties it all in. Okay. Take a look at it now. Pretty cute. Pretty cute. Now, we're going to take a Dollar Tree string of beads. And I think we're going to just keep them natural. But we have to make a little bow. So I'm going to take, before we put our beaded hanger, I want to make a little bow. And let's see if I can just take a few pieces of raffia. Oh, the whole bag's falling on me here. Alright, so let me just take a few pieces. Oh. Let's gather some up from the top, if we can find the top of it. I love it though. The wiry, the stringier, the better for me. Alright, so now I have this color. Let's put that in half, shall we? Looks like we can go one more time with one side. So we'll do that. So I'm just gonna cut all this so that they're not loops, because I'm gonna fold this again. Whoops. I'm gonna fold this again so I have a good little bunch. And then I'm just gonna cut that. And then I'm gonna just take I need a little clip. I'm just gonna take a clip and hold this for a moment, because I want to do the same thing with the maroon that matches my ticking in my cloth. Well, it's actually paper. So I want to just take a few pieces of that just to accent. Just give me some. My cat's over here watching me. She's like, Mommy, that looks like fun. Whoops. Yeah, that is going to really match nicely. So I'm going to do the same thing. I have like a bunch. I'm just going to fold it. And what I'm doing is I'm eyeballing that they're long enough that I can keep doubling it. And then I'm just going to cut the ends, double it again. And then I'm going to lay these. Oops, got to cut the loop. Not only do I have a runny nose today, but I have the driest mouth ever. I don't know what that is from. And now I'm just going to pinch these together. Whoops. And I'm going to take a little zip tie. I'm just going to zip tie that together so I don't lose it all. My fingers are barely holding on here. Barely holding on. But we're going to get there. So I put on my little Amish heater when I woke up this morning. I knew it was going to be chilly. I knew from last night's weather that it was going to be. I can't even hold my zip tie to pull it tight. I have to use pliers. But I knew before I went to bed it was going to be, you know, a cold one when I woke up. But boy, oh boy, do you forget that first cold spell. You forget. You forget. All right, now this is going to be way too big, but I'm going to just give it a haircut. I was just wanting something to put with it. Like, let's see what I have in my drawer of tricks here. Like another button maybe, or an acorn. An acorn. It's an acorn. Let's put acorns in it. Look at everything falling down on me. Yeah, let's look in here and get some acorns. And maybe a pine cone or two. Okay, here's some acorns. And these are from the Dollar Tree. So first of all, though, take a sip here. Let's give this a good haircut because I want it wiry and fun, but it's a little too long. So I'm just going to give it a haircut, make my bow a little bit smaller. There we go. Now I'm just fluffing it out. Fluffing it out. And I'm just going to glue that right to the neck of my, or right to the bottom of the stem on my acorn. With a good amount. I'll put it on crooked. And then I am going to just put a couple of these acorns right on top to cover up my little cable tie or whatever you call it. Put another one down here. It's not gluing yet, so let's just hold it for a minute. So it will hold still. I think we only might need 2. But we got to keep holding here. Why isn't that gluing? Alright, well, let's just pretend we don't, we don't know that it's not gluing. And let's move on to our next medium, which is the beads. So, let's see if I've already cut a strand. No, it doesn't look like it. Well, I don't know if I did or not, but we're going to cut the one I have in my left hand right now. And that is going to be our hanger. Let's see if those will go, these beads go over our hanger that came with it. And then we can put those right back on. You know what I'm saying? This is the little jute hanger that came with it. And it's got the toggles on the bottom. So if we cut off this... oops, got to cut it further. And I think it's going to go right down through perfectly. So I'm going to do 2. And the best thing is the toggle makes a little needle. 4. 6. Have to do an even amount. I think that's probably, well, let's do a couple more, and that will be 10. And if we can fit 2 more, we'll do 12. Let's do it. Let's do it. And then hopefully we can get our toggles. So this whole thing has, I think, 12 we counted. And I'm going to hope that our acorns are all glued back on. And we probably have to poke our holes through the back. So take something sharp and poke a hole. I have a nail. Don't do what I do. I'm just here to inspire you. And then put your toggle right back down through the hole. Can't see what I'm doing with all my fuzzy raffia. Just put it right back down through the hole and you are golden. And this will be complete. Oh my gosh, how cute is that? And let's put that all towards the back. Yeah, I just like the 2 acorns on top. And I think that is so cute. So cute. What do you guys think? You know, it's something different. It's not a pumpkin and something different. Let's not forget we have acorns. Let's not forget the acorn. It's like I'm doing a it's like I'm doing a I don't know, some kind of advertisement for the acorn. Let's not forget the acorn. All right, well, I think this is great. I love this. You can change it up. I put my blast up over the buttons, but we could have fixed that. And, you know, I just wasn't watching because I had my blue tape. You can change up the buttons. You could put beads. You could put stickers. There's so many ways to dress up an acorn. I just had to do one this year. And I really love the way that this came out. And I love that it's mixed media. But it all goes together. You know what I mean? So let's count our medias. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different medias on our one Acorn. This is a great time to give me a thumbs up. Those really do help my channel, and make sure you're subscribed. I have so many return viewers that are not subscribed, and if you just could be subscribed, I would have like double. I have 47%, so like half almost of my viewers aren't subscribed, so that would like double my subscribers with just one little click of that button. But anyway, if you don't want to subscribe, it's okay. I love you anyway. And a lot of people don't know how. A lot of people don't know how. I had to learn everything myself. And so I understand. Trust me. All right, everybody. Well, this will do it for today's craft. I hope you're having a great, blessed day. And until we see each other next time, be good and do good. Bye now. Stay warm.